Good morning and welcome. My name's Reverend Melanie from Toronto Anglican Church in the beautiful city of Lake Macquarie. Today was Epiphany 4 and the Gospel reading was Luke 4, 21 to 30. I acknowledge the traditional custodians of this region of which this is recorded on, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and future. I pray too that we understand the interconnectedness of the Aboriginal way of life, the interconnectedness of all peoples and all systems, including our ecosystem, including our land, our rocks, the fish in the sea, every creature and every person and everything in this beautiful Creator Spirit has made. So let us begin. I titled this reflection, Jesus Makes the Nazarenes from His Hometown Uncomfortable. So during the week, an uproar erupted when young Grace was ushered by the Prime Minister for a photograph as she arrived at the lodge with her new fiancé, and she took his hand and refused to smile. In fact, her face was so angry, it made me gasp. Then it started. She was belittled by some, as she was called immature, childish, etc. For others, it was not proper etiquette. Then there were a group of men and women who roared in solidarity with Grace Tame. It is now known as the photo that divided the nation. Grace Tame's work through the year has generated great discussion and change, and it takes time and an enormous amount of effort to change the culture around how we speak and care for victim survivors of sexual violence. While Scott Morrison's behaviour and lack of implementation around sexual violence is pretty good reason for Grace Tame to be fiercely angry. As a society, we have been conditioned over the years as women to play nice, to be polite when we are uncomfortable, be quiet, don't rock the boat, respect authority, respect people in positions of honour, and we have been conditioned to stay small and to stay in our place. Most men have not had this same level of conditioning, although some men cop it from other men. After writing this on Thursday, an article appeared in The Age on this very thing. This socialisation to be nice, to keep smiling, is what allows young women to be groomed for abuse. It stops women from fighting for their rights in relationships and from fighting for their rights in life. Also, an example of gender bias is when Justice Kenneth Hayne, the head of the Royal Commission into Banking Misconduct, refused to smile or even shake the hand of the Treasurer during a photo opportunity under the full glare of the media spotlight. And he was not attacked. We should respect authority and people in places of honour. However, this notion has been used to silence and retain power and control when a person who is a person of honour and authority behaves in a manner that is hypocritical to their position or is abusing their power. Where there is absolute respect for authority or places of honour, regardless of behaviour, their abuse of all sorts thrives. This is a critical teaching moment for the church. The younger generations, in particular, put more value on authenticity and truth, and we encourage them to have their voice. I invite you to pause and reflect on what it means for a victim survivor to express their true feelings to a person in authority or a person of honour who has either done the harm or has caused harm through disregarding them and their cause either directly or indirectly. Our safe ministry training and the Office of Children's Guardian training encourages children to have a voice, to be listened to, heard and taken seriously. This needs to also occur for women. Our posters throughout the church and the hall encourage this also. Society is moving away from, and it needs to move away from, putting people on pedestals. Because the only person who belongs on a pedestal is the Son of God, Jesus himself. But our ingrained conditioning is hard to overcome. But awareness is key. Jesus' visit back to his hometown in Nazareth sees the Nazarenes first try and place Jesus in a box in which they feel comfortable. Jesus, the son of Joseph, is that comfortable box, and Jesus will have none of that. So Jesus challenges them, and this leads to rejection and violence. The challenge to them was painful and messy. Jesus has a way of exposing the thoughts that lie deep within their hearts and in bringing truth bubbling to the surface. But we know that as we come before the cross of our lives are painful and messy. But the cross brings truth, grace, mercy, and love. To speak up is truth, whether it is through words or emotion. And in its truth, that leads to grace and ultimately the love of God. Amen.